Hello, everyone. Sorry for the delay. We are going to start the December 16th meeting. Madam Clerk, can you please call roll?
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Bayless?
Present.
Councilmember Leon?
Present.
Councilmember Rubalcaba?
Here.
Councilmember Kurtz?
Here.
Councilmember Maz?
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Meeks?
Here.
Mayor Aiken?
Present.
Let the record show we have all 7 members present.
Do we have any additions or deletions to the closed session agenda?
Mayor, there are none.
And do we have any public comment cards turned in for the closed session agenda?
We do not, and we didn't receive any electronic comments on the closed session agenda.
So we're going to recess briefly into closed session and hopefully be back not too long after 5 o'clock. Thank you.
Pastor Maciel, are you in the audience? No. Could you please step up, Pastor Maciel, if you're in the audience?
I'd like to reconvene the Anaheim City Council meeting back to order. Thank you, everyone, for your patience during our fire alarm. So the first item on our agenda is our invocation. Following that, Councilmember Bayless will lead us in the flag salute. I will now turn to our clerk, Ms. Teresa Bass, to lead us in our invocation. Please stand if you are able.
Thank you, Mayor. Today, Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the opportunity to come together as a community for this meeting. We thank you for the community and all the supported leaders and our leadership who seek the welfare of all. We thank you for their guidance and wisdom as we gather in passion and purpose for the betterment of the city of Anaheim. And for all this, we give thanks. Amen.
Please place your right hand over your heart and repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. I have the special honor tonight of recognizing the retirement of a true Anaheim champion, our AUHSD superintendent, Mr. Michael Matsuda. So for more than a decade, Superintendent Matsuda has been a visionary leader in Anaheim's Union High School District. He has built bridges between our schools and our families, across cultures, and throughout the greater Anaheim community. He has led with vision and integrity. He has guided the district to become a model for innovation, career pathways, and real-world learning. And he played a critical role in a difficult time, leading our high schools through the pandemic. Michael has always been a champion for equity and opportunity, and he believes in all Anaheim students, their families, and the greater Anaheim community. Beyond students, he has invested in our teachers and our staff, strengthening excellence across our Anaheim schools. Superintendent, you have touched the lives of thousands of children and made a real impact in the city of Anaheim, and you will be truly missed. If you could please join us and share a few words.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, City Council members, all of folks. It's truly an honor. I have deep roots in Anaheim. Of course, many of you know the story of my mother. Would have graduated from Anaheim High School, but for the internment camps. But through the leadership of the board, really, and I want to really thank the entire board, but our current board president, Jessica Guerrero, as well as Anne Marie Randall Trejo. We have been quite a team in helping to lead and position many of our students for meaningful jobs and careers, right? And they're thriving, as we know from our girls volleyball team too. It's amazing. So on behalf of our 25,000 students, their families, and the future kids coming into the district, really, really want to thank you. And we look forward to continued collaboration with an amazing city council. And I know you have a new police chief, and kudos to your entire team with city manager and everybody. This is really I know a great time as we look forward to the holidays. And again, I'm truly honored. Thank you so much, Mayor. Thank you.
So now I get to recognize Peggy Au, who is our controller on her retirement from the city of Anaheim. Peggy Au has been a dedicated member of the city of Anaheim for more than 3 decades. Yes. Her journey began at the Anaheim Convention Center, and she later served as a key leader in the finance department. No matter the circumstances, Peggy consistently stepped up to the challenge and helped her team along the way. Peggy, we thank you for your decades of service to the city, and we wish you the very best on your retirement. Now I'm going to ask our finance director, Ms. Debbie Moreno, to come up and say a few words to further embarrass you and call attention to you, which I know you love. Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor, members of the City Council, and the City Manager for allowing me this opportunity to recognize this very special person, Ms. Peggy Au. On our well-deserved retirement, and as the Mayor mentioned, she's been here more than 3 decades. As a matter of fact, this month marks 35 years of service with the city. She's also a resident here in the city of Anaheim. So Peggy immigrated to the U.S. with her family when she was a young adult. She put herself through college, and during this time, as the mayor mentioned, she started with the city of Anaheim as a part-time accounting specialist at the convention center. She worked her way through every level in the accounting series, including eventually following in my footsteps as a financial accounting manager. But when I said following in my footsteps, I meant that as a matter of time. She has surpassed me in every way in her level of expertise and talent. Today, Peggy is the city's first ever controller, the highest level of accountant in the city. Peggy, thank you for everything you've done for the people in our community and organization. Congratulations on a well-earned retirement. You'll be missed by so many. I will personally miss you as a colleague and a friend. We've worked together more than a quarter century, almost half our lives. I should say more than half our lives, but you do the math. Again, congratulations, Peggy.
So last but certainly not least, it is a thrill to recognize Anaheim High School's girls volleyball team for their outstanding achievement in reaching the CIF Southern Section Finals. So this amazing accomplishment shows the team's dedication, belief in hard work, and undeniable talent. The players showed true Anaheim pride and demonstrated exceptional teamwork. I also want to acknowledge the coaching staff that is here tonight, as well as their parents and everyone that helped them along their journey. So congratulations to the entire team for proudly representing Anaheim. Can you please join us?
So naturally, the taller folks in back, come on in. We can get a couple down here. Yeah, down here.
That is okay. So while we're getting organized, I'm going to take the opportunity to call the Anaheim Housing Authority into joint session with our council today. City Clerk, can you please outline the public comment procedures and call forward the first 3 speakers to address our council agenda?
Mayor, my apologies. If my apologies on we have one item just before that, the additions and deletions to the agenda.
I apologize. Do we have any additions or deletions to our agenda?
I don't have any, Mayor.
Okay, thank you for reminding me. So now we're going to call to order.
Councilmember Kurtz, did you want to make a motion at the mayor's discretion?
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. With your permission, regarding the public hearing today, I'd like to make a motion that we postpone that to our first meeting in January, which is January, I think, 13th.
So we have a motion and a second to, excuse me, I know it's at the end of our agenda. Do you have the item number?
Public hearing, it's the public
Item
hearing.
20, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Sorry, we have a long, mine is longer than, item number 20 to the first the first meeting in January. So we have a first and a second.
Yeah, I second.
Okay, thank you. Please vote. Oh, it's over here.
Mayor, City Council. The vote is 6 ayes, 1 nay, nay being Mayor Pro Tem Meeks. And this is a motion to continue the public hearing for the development application 2023-0043. This is for a project location that consists of 85.7 acre Anaheim Hills Festival specific plan, generally located in Santa Ana Canyon Road between Festival Drive and Roosevelt Road. And this is being continued at the January 13th, 2026 council meeting.
So I would like to acknowledge, I'm not sure if there are residents here that were here for that item specifically. I deeply apologize for this schedule change. If you were,
Yeah.
if I could ask our communications person, Mr. Mike Lister is our communications director, just to make sure that we really pump out the information that we have moved this hearing, and we can use, maybe put it on Anaheim Hills Buzz, as well as our other channels of communication, so those that may be looking for an answer tomorrow know that they have another opportunity on January 13th. And if anybody is here and would like to make public comment in just general, not under the public comment reserved for the hearing, you're more than welcome to do that as well. So with that, Clerk, can you please outline the public comment procedures and call forward the first 3 speakers addressing the council agenda?
Thank you, Mayor. Speakers have 1 opportunity to address the City Council. The public period is limited to 90 minutes or until all agenda item speakers have been heard. Any time remaining of the 90 minutes will be provided to speakers who wish to speak on any non-agenda related items but within the council's jurisdiction. A second public comment period will be opened by the mayor only if any non-agenda item speakers were not heard during this first public comment period, and it'll be open at the end of council business. The time limit for public comment is 3 minutes per speaker. Those wishing to address the City Council must complete a speaker card, which is available at the back of the council chambers. The name and contact information requested on the speaker card is optional. Any unidentified speakers will be called by the speaker card number. At this time, I'd also like to announce that Spanish interpreting services are provided at every City Council meeting. Simultaneous Spanish interpretation is provided through the use of headsets, and consecutive interpretation is available to anyone who would like to address the City Council. For translation services in other languages, we ask that you please contact the City Clerk's office at least 48 hours prior to the scheduled meeting. At this time, I'd like to introduce our interpreter who will make the same announcement in Spanish.
Sí, buenas tardes. En todas las juntas del Consejo Municipal se ofrecen servicios de interpretación simultánea al español por medio del uso de audífonos y se proporciona interpretación consecutiva para cualquier persona que desee dirigirse al Consejo Municipal. Para obtener servicios de interpretación en otros idiomas, tenga la amabilidad de ponerse en contacto con la secretaria municipal al menos 48 horas antes de la junta programada. Muchas gracias.
At this time, on behalf of the City Council, we would like to remind the public that Anaheim remains committed to freedom of speech, and we ask that speakers address the City Council with civility and refrain from making personal, threatening, abusive, or slanderous or profane remarks towards any member of the council, staff, or general public. We appreciate you reflecting this spirit when you speak. The time now is 6:07 with the 90-minute public comment period set to conclude at 7:37 or until all agenda item speakers have been heard. We do ask that speakers line up at the podium once they see their name appear on the projection screen behind me. And Mayor and City Council, we don't have any speakers on agenda items. We have 8 speakers on general comments, so we'll go ahead and jump into the general comments portion. The first speaker being Mark Richard Daniels.
So it goes. We're approaching holidays, Christmas, and also Hanukkah. There was a terrible tragedy that you just can't even wrap your arms around. It cannot be weighed, the grasp of the loss of life in Australia, first of all, the people that were celebrating Hanukkah on the beach. You know, it's basically summer down there and down under. And, you know, it's a festive event, and these people were gunned down because of their faith, their religion. Then we had the Brown University shooting, loss of life there, and they're still looking for a suspect. Then we had, I still can't, we had the noted director, actor, Mike Stivic, Rob Reiner. I was thinking of Mike Stivic from All in the Family for some reason. And that's what I grew up with. And Rob Reiner and his wife were absolutely terribly murdered. And it turns out it's their own son that's had issues, drug and alcohol and homelessness, and evidently he's the prime suspect. And how does our president, can I say that? The Grand Village Idiot, he grabs onto it and makes it his own. It's about him. That somehow, because of what Rob Reiner said and did in his actions in tearing down Trump, that somehow he was obsessed with Trump or something, and he just totally turns it around as he does with everything. You know, it doesn't matter what it is, it's going to be about Donald Trump. And this is pathetic. And this just absolutely is the most disgusting. Even the Republican Party couldn't get their head around it. It's like, why would you make it about you? You always make it about you. So this is, as we turn another page and we head towards a new year. And so this is Christmas. And what have we done? Another year over, and a new one just begun. John Lennon.
Our next speaker, Vance Disney.
Good evening. It's me, Vance Disney, the man who brought you an adjustable center wall for our freeway and reminded you of real American standards with the EasyBack car, an easy battery replaceable type car. And now I have a new number, 909-538-4737 at fatgat99@gmail with a PH. And now I'll talk to you about the Aboveway monorail. A new spin on the Aboveway, a one-story high train that won't close businesses with eminent domain, because wherever it goes, its first floor will remain, and it will be light on material because the bridge structure holding up the train will be the train itself. And it will have superconductive power with gyro balance as it circles around the top of the Bonaventure in LA. Then it will come down through the outside of the Flive with a stop right here in Harbor, and it comes in a convertible that closes up tight as it enters a clear Pyrex tube that dives underwater at Oceanside, stopping at the end of the pier underwater to check the clarity of the sea. And there we may have mermaids polishing the outside of the tube with octopuses. Then it will go into Mexico and up to a pyramid mall on top of the Mount Pico Diablo with a large concrete ball dedicated to it that can be rolled onto the track to stop runaway trains. And the pyramid will be ordained with South India erotic statues covered with native Indian statue feathers. There it will split into three directions, one down the middle of the Baja Peninsula, another up through Mexico to snake through the Mojave Indian Vega lands. Then on the 15 into Nevada and up into a tunnel of love at the fabulous Las Vegas sign, where the Luxor Sphinx cat will be. And you will see a new twin pyramid casino called the Lustar, with a conical shape and a diamond lace frame of diamond-shaped rooms that will be decked out like yachts seeing up into the stars, which may remind you of my Punker Pirate comic book of Zen laws. And remember, the first thing of the law is freedom of religion. So don't display chauvinism of Christianity that all our laws oppose, and have a decent solution for every protest we bring, even about cops, like hang a cop mannequin from the freeway overpasses to remind everybody that cops slow down our traffic on the freeways. Although I am a good officer, so women aren't to be asking for equal pay in the workplace until they pay me for sex. Any takers? Oh, anyway. I'd like to end by sharing the theme song to the Bunker Pirate comic book. Look at old surfer man flying a wave, and Captain Comet got something to say. Here come the bunker pirate with his feet on the ground, right in front of you and from all around. And the jolly, jolly Raja, she drinks her wine from the jagged edge.
Our next speaker, Kristen Dubon.
Can the city clerk pass it to you guys? I have flyers. You guys.
And sir, once we could pass those flyers and you can begin your comments.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Christian Dubon, and I'm a proud member of District 5 here in Anaheim. The purpose is I wanted to invite everybody from the city council to a historic moment of Anaheim. It's the 100th year anniversary luncheon of Toastmasters Anaheim Club 2. So our club is one of the first ever Toastmasters Club. It was founded in 1926. So we're not only the second Toastmasters Club ever, we're the oldest continuously operating club in the world. That's out of 16,000 clubs all around the world. Ours has been open for nearly 100 years. It's been open through multiple recessions, multiple wars, the Great Depression, and even just recently, the COVID-19 pandemic. So the focus was to help out people in Anaheim when it comes to public speaking, which is one of the greatest fears in all the whole world, communication and leadership skills. The event is January 10th, 2026, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's at Hotel Lulu, right across from Disneyland. And it's more than a celebration. We're technically the first ever Toastmasters Club to reach 100 years. And I believe, in my opinion, it's a true milestone for the city of Anaheim that we're one of the first to be able to be proud of that, to brag about that. And what to expect, you will have special speeches, awards, special guests, and historical artifacts that we have at the museum. These are artifacts that we've kept since 1926, 1925. And we have members that have joined around 40 years ago to members who just joined weeks ago, all coming together for a once-in-a-century moment. To me, personally, Anaheim Club 2 has been like a public speaking gym. It's a place where I do my reps. I grow with people that are like-minded, just so we could become better at communicating our message to the world. It's helped me grow up and to become a better leader for everybody, a better supporter of others, because that's what we learn, to support others. And at the end of the day, it's helped me become a better, polished professional that I get to represent Anaheim everywhere I go. I wanted to invite everybody from the city council and just want to celebrate 100 years of growth, leadership, and community. And because not many things make it to 100, guys, so I would love for every one of you to make it out there. Thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing with that, and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I'll welcome myself. Hello, fellow council members and mayor. My name is Eric, and I'm a resident of Anaheim, District 5. Like the gentleman Christian who just spoke, I'm also a member of Toastmasters Club number 2. Toastmasters Anaheim Club number 2 has been part of Anaheim for about 100 years. We have grown, we have learned, and we've helped our community thrive. Today, we're still doing that with pride. I joined 1 year ago because I wanted to be a better speaker, and now I'm here speaking in front of you. Our members come from many parts of the city. We have small business owners, professionals, teachers, students, faith leaders, etc. We all grow together. We all learn together. For 100 years, our club has given Anaheim residents a place to build confidence and leadership skills. When someone grows in our club, they bring those skills back into the community. Anaheim becomes stronger because people feel ready to speak and lead. The results speak for themselves. Anaheim Mayor Charles Pearson began owning his public speaking skills in this very club, Anaheim Club number 2. He led Anaheim as mayor from 1940 to 1958. We have records. Our centennial celebration on January 10th is a chance to honor our past and look forward to the future. We invite you and the Anaheim community to join us. Thank you so much.
We invite our next speaker.
Madam Mayor and honorable council members, my name is David Bartash and I'm a District 5 resident. And tonight I will discuss two topics. First, I'll continue the discussion that Christian and Eric have been discussing about Toastmasters Club, Anaheim Club 2, followed with a second topic which has no relation to Toastmasters Club, but involves my personal opinion on agenda item number 18. And as a member of Anaheim Toastmasters Club 2, I'm excited to see the club prepare for its 100th year of continuous operation. Over the past century, Toastmasters International has grown from 2 clubs, the one here in Anaheim and another one in Santa Ana, to over 13,800 worldwide, and has transformed nearly 8 million individuals through the mission of empowering and becoming more effective public speakers. Anaheim Club 2's future is seen in our membership's diversity. Our different cultures, our different generations, blue and white collar employees, entrepreneurs, college students, they all come to the Dale McIntosh Center every Thursday to achieve their personal growth goals. Some want to overcome the fear of public speaking in front of people, while others want to enhance their communication and leadership abilities to advocate for themselves, their families, and their communities. All of them excel through Toastmaster International's process of learning by doing and receiving effective feedback. What does this mean for Anaheim Club 2? Well, the city is only going to become more diverse in the upcoming years, and our club is well positioned to help for any other of our residents that see a need to improve their communication abilities. Now, for my second topic, or actually before I say that, I would definitely, just like Eric and Christian, would be deeply honored if you joined us on January 10th for our 100th anniversary luncheon. And for my second topic, which has no relation to Toastmasters, and I want to encourage you to reappoint Stephen Fessel to the MWD Water Board, Board of Directors. Stephen's tenure on the board he's become one of the most knowledgeable members of the board and one of the most influential. And we lose that voice if we replace him. So please, stick with Steve. Thank you.
We invite our next speaker. And following the speaker, we have 3 speakers, Brian Kay, Kenneth Batiste, and Mark Herbert.
Good evening. The words I share tonight are not mine. They were written by a fellow activist of mine who lives here. His name is Rami. He's half Palestinian. I'm presenting it inspired by Albert Arzola, who died on December 6th here. Many people in Anaheim have Palestinian, Arab, or Muslim heritage, even Al-Khalil. They've been appalled by the silence from our national and local governments, eroding trust in our public institutions. Anaheim residents need something just like this, i.e. the petition for sister cities, to send a clear message that they are seen, understood, respected, and most of all, represented by local government, especially when our state and national governments openly devalue them. A sister city partnership acknowledges and attempts to remedy the harm done. This would not only be a win for the aforementioned community, but for all Anaheim residents, because it is a bold statement representing our shared values, the values of law and order, of responsibility, accountability, equality, justice, and the courage to do the right thing, even in the face of overwhelming odds. Many feel powerless to help the innocent civilians in Palestine. They have spent countless days holding signs in the streets and raising awareness, but they are not fulfilled by this alone. They are looking for ways to have a greater impact, whether local government facilitates it or not. It would be tone deaf for the Anaheim City Council to undervalue the importance of this initiative. If they do, They will alienate their constituents and delegitimize themselves as credible representatives. National polls are currently showing lowest trust in public institutions in history. This is, historically speaking, a strong precursor to collapse of governments. On the other hand, this initiative will spark unprecedented involvement, trust, and support for local government. Other cities have sister cities in Palestine. Anaheim has the opportunity to take the lead here, to be the first for Hebron, Al Khalil, and to start a trend that will cement this city's strong reputation in leadership, principled action, and open-minded adaptability and responsibility to its residents. Similarly, many celebrities and business owners who have stayed silent about Palestine merely look on while those who have the courage to take a principled stand have been inundated with support. There is no stopping the surge in support for Palestine. Over are the days where supporting Israel gets you elected. Those representing Anaheim have an opportunity to act with integrity and self-interest, hand in hand. Those who are out of touch, those who oppose this initiative, will not only lose integrity, but also their seat at the table. On my account, I'd like to remind you that this is, from my stance, it is not a political or an economic initiative. It is strictly humanitarian and community-oriented, sharing community with Al Khalil. Thank you.
Our next speaker.
Happy day. You know, I'd like to try and apologize to our Anaheim City Council and our mayor and staff. You know, for some reason at the Veteran Cemetery meeting, you know, and I don't know why, but Mike Leister just wanted to start yelling at me and tried to kick me out of the meeting, said I didn't belong there. He was pretty much so far out of line that the security staff that was there that he could have just walked away. You know, where we chatted at Connor Trout's campaign meeting at the Pizza Press. I'm not going to say who, but I went up to somebody, or I didn't walk up to him, we just happened to be, and I thanked them for what they had said at the County Board of Supervisors meeting. And that person actually just yelled at me. Said, "You're so offensive, you offend everybody." I mean, they actually like yelled at me. And I was trying to thank them. And, you know, I kind of wish I knew what was so offensive about me or what was so bad about me that prevents people from just communicating with me. You know, on another note, Donna Michelle Acevedo, she stood here at this mic. No matter how things played out, she's a hero to Anaheim. You know, I've talked to probably 5 or 10 command staff, and they're like, yeah, without her, Anaheim would be very different. If you want to put it into perspective, Derek Trusk killed himself. He's an Anaheim police officer. He was so overcome with the grief of the way Anaheim treated Donna, that he was reaching out asking for help. Think about it. This council, not necessarily you, but this Anaheim City Council and mayor have a greater fatality rating than the people of Anaheim. By ignoring Derek Trusk, allowed him to kill himself. Are you taking care of the Anaheim police? Donna, just by being Donna, has helped prevent probably 5 or 10 police officers from feeling the same feeling that Derek Trusk felt before he killed himself. So if she stands at this mic or leans at this mic, she deserves as much time as she wants. And for anybody to just walk away from her, it's inappropriate. To turn her loose on the community and the police like that, we need a mayor and council that communicates with our leaders, with our people. You know, back to me, you know, whatever it is, if you could just tell me what's so offensive about me, answer an email, talk to me, something, communicate, let me know
Mr. K,
what's
your time
so
is up.
offensive about me so I could apologize, so you don't feel that way about me, about yourself, or anybody else.
You, Mr. K.
Happy day. Hey, thank you for the smile. Those are priceless.
Our next speaker, Kenneth
Okay.
Batiste.
More of those.
First thing, giving honor to God. Those on the council are serving to God, God of the people. I wanted just to talk about some things that Mark had did, but I'm gonna add one more, the Australia shooting, the Brown University shooting, the Rob Reiner shooting, our own very own high school track team being ran down in the street by a DUI driver. So my point is this right here. What are we illustrating? Capitalism versus humanitarian. Are we going ahead and taking care of our people? Or are we going ahead and putting our people in a tighter situation? Our corporations, such as things such as Citizens United, which had nothing to do with Citizens United, it had to do with Money United, taking advantage of the uneducated people. We suffer because of that. So what do? We have special interests, and the special interests are not thinking about nobody else but the stockholders. That's their number one project, ambition, to make money. They're here to make money. But just because they make money don't mean that they do right all by the residents and the people who live here. Homelessness. Nobody can tell me about homelessness. I'm out there and I see it. I went down Beach Boulevard today and almost had tears in my eyes. It's growing. It's growing out of proportion. So we're supposed to be a government of the people, by the people, but such things like this is growing more and more. What does it affect? Eventually, it rolls down to the children. If we don't take care of it at the adult ones, that's truly what happens. I'm going to go ahead and close with this. We should be doing all that we can. All of us. We have a part. We all have a part. And those that are given more power, it's required more of. So my point of it is, if we can take care of corporations, we should be able to take care of our homelessness. We should have a hub. We should have a place where they can take a shower. They can wash their clothes. They can have a meal. They do it in Orange. I know we are our largest city, but we should be able to do it here. Remember holiday cheers, because we are the blessed ones. We get to go home and close our door.
Your time is up.
We get to take a shower. We get to turn the lights on. Let's always look out for those that are less fortunate than us. Thank you.
Our next speaker, Mark Herbert.
Mark Herbert, AnaheimGrease.com. Due to recent events, the Tale of Two Cities comes to mind. We all know Anaheim is a company town with two doors, one for the large interests and the other for the rest of us. And last night was a perfect illustration of that. At 6 o'clock in this room was the Planning Commission, and it was three pillars of the community came, along with their lawyers, their staff, and the city staff, all in attendance in case there were any questions that needed to be answered. That's door number one. And there were two questions. One centered on the Porsche dealership. The three pillars were the new Porsche dealership, OC Vibe, and the ex-brewery. And the one question centered on the aviation fuel line running beneath the Porsche dealership property. The lobbyist, Greg McCaffrey, at the 42-minute, 4-second mark, said it had been abandoned. He didn't discuss whether the ground had been tested for old contaminants and whether they would be disturbed during construction. He didn't see any reason to address the second question, which concerned the perchlorates from Disney's fireworks, which had polluted the water, and he just dismissed the question. The Planning Commission was fine with that because in door number 1, there's no problems. And they approved both projects and we moved on. Now, door number 2 is where the public entered for the community meeting, which followed, and it concerned the shooting last week. And things operated a little differently behind those doors. For one, we couldn't get a clear read on when the meeting was. At last council meeting, Councilmember Kurtz announced that there would be a meeting the following night, community meeting on the shooting. No mention of the location, no mention of the time. I spent the following day with others trying to track that down. Many phone calls, emails to City Hall, no response. Around 4 p.m., finally, it had been postponed. That's what happens at door number 2. So, among the questions, there were no ground rules for the meeting last night. And at the 1 hour mark, the police spokesman suddenly said it's over. There were still questions, but it was over. Why weren't all the council members there? Aren't they part of the community? Why wasn't the meeting scheduled for tonight where it could be streamed? It was not streamed last night, so the news and media couldn't follow it. Well, there's some others, but my time's out.
Our next speaker.
Hello, my name is Serge Palau, and I'm here in support of Albert Arzola. Last night we had a meeting speaking about his passing, and I would just like to say, you know, they're trying to paint a bad narrative, but again, I worked with him every day this past year at the Honda Center for the Anaheim Ducks. He was a very proud citizen of Anaheim, and he was very proud to work for the Anaheim Ducks mostly. He got his money fair, and he got it clean. And I understand during the raid that they took money away from him. And I would just like to ask if there would be a thorough investigation, because I know all that cash was kept from his paychecks from the Anaheim Ducks. And I would just like to say that I'd just like to say for those that weren't here yesterday and weren't able to catch up that during the chase, the officers did come out during an unmarked car. And, you know, we're at a height of just citizens being scared, and anybody would be terrified. And if a car just suddenly stopped and 2 people started chasing you, I know my initial reaction would be to run away. And again, I don't believe what happened to him was fair. And I understand that Orange County has their own investigations and they're going to investigate it themselves. But I do also understand that LA County does turn it over to a separate DA company. And I was just hoping if we were able to turn it over to a different system like LA County does. That is all.
Mayor and City Council, that concludes our in-person speakers. Do noting for the record, we did receive 4 general comments, 4 emails that were distributed to City Council, as well as posted on our city's website at anaheim.net/public comments. Also noting for the continued public hearing, we did receive emails, 19 emails. Each of those were also distributed and will be made part of the record of the continued public hearing.
Thank you so much, Clerk. So now we are going to close the public comment portion of the meeting and move to council communications. Does any council members have items to share? Start with Councilmember Kurtz and then Councilmember Maas.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I don't see him. Is Chief Armendariz here tonight? He is not here tonight? Okay. I hope he's listening. Chief Armendariz, I wanted to thank you for your service to our city. Thank you for staying on until a new chief was hired, and now staying on until the new chief reports to Anaheim. I want to say thank you to his wife and daughters who gave up much family time with their husband, with their dad, while he was serving Anaheim. Certainly, I was in several meetings with him, but one really stands out to me. We were meeting with residents of Ganita Lane, a very troubled neighborhood in our city, regarding a bus stop area. The residents wanted a little park bench, some green space. City staff was looking for another alternative to the area. Concerned about the safety at that corner. So we had a meeting, asked the police chief to maybe send a community police officer. But the chief himself came to the meeting, and the residents described what they wanted at the corner. The reaction from the chief and our APD was, we're here to ensure the safety and serve our community and the residents, businesses of our city. Whatever the residents in the neighborhood want, we should do, and we will protect the area. The members of that community were astounded, absolutely astounded that the police were supporting their community. And for those that know the Ganita Lane area, it's been a hard road. But I thank you, Chief, for all your work, your service and dedication to our city. This is our last meeting of the year, so I'm going to take the time to thank each and every department head for your service to our city, to our residents, to our businesses. And every once in a while, we say thank you to your teams. And I do thank your teams. But I want to also acknowledge that the work they do is because of the leadership. And I think most of you are here today. So I want to thank Teresa Bass, Rob Fabella, Tom Morton, Sergio Ramirez, Debbie Moreno, Chief Russell, Grace Stepter, Linda Andal, Heather Allen, Dooku Lee, Rudy Amami. Thank you for all that you do for our city. Thank you for leading absolutely wonderful teams that take care of our city and our residents. Couldn't ask for anything more. One last acknowledgement, and I'll report more in one of the January meetings about the toy giveaways in District 4. But I want to mention ATN for just a moment. ATN employees didn't wait to be asked. They called us and said, we want to be part of the toy drive. You haven't called us yet, but we want to make sure that you include us. We're having a total of 7 toy giveaways in 7 neighborhoods, and they will be at every one of them. Decorated a bus, help distribute the toys. I really, from the bottom of my heart, want to thank them and that staff for coming forward on their own to make sure that kids in some of these areas have a toy for Christmas. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Moss?
Thank you. I actually don't have slides this meeting. I just wanted to take a moment to express my gratitude to Chief Armendariz for not only his years of service and leadership in the city of Anaheim, but decades of service as a public servant. I have not had the extended role and experience with him as a council member, as I'm one of the newer members up here. But as a resident, I have seen his impact through his leadership in my neighborhood. So again, I just want to thank him for his years of service and his leadership in our city. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Bayless?
Thank you. First, I'm just going to say ditto to everything that Councilmember Kurt said. I truly do also value city staff, all staff, especially the directors. I hope they know that, so ditto for that. Also, I just want to take a quick second to also say thanks to the chief. He's not here tonight, too bad. I had a nice story that may have made him blush just a little bit, so I'll pass on that. But 6 years of service is, go ahead. 6 years of service is saying something. He guided us through the last 6 years, did a remarkable job. Take it from somebody who is retired. You will enjoy every day, I guarantee it. So thank you for your service. You know, I first met him, believe it or not, at a community meeting over at Brookhurst Park, and I don't think he was the chief yet at that time. And you could tell by talking to him that he was a man who knew what he needed to do and was definitely a good guy. And I think we saw that play out over the last 6 years. So thank you, Chief. And with that, I'll say happy holidays.
Thank you. Councilmember Rubalcaba and Councilmember Leon.
Thank you, Mayor Aiken. I believe I do have a couple slides, Madam Clerk. And as many of you know, I represent District 3. Sorry, I just put a chocolate kiss in my mouth, so forgive me. I represent District 3, which is home to about 50,000 residents. We are a very diverse community, and that does include the oldest high school, Anaheim High School. And I was proud to be able to support their food distribution that they just conducted this past Monday. And it was sponsored by Northgate as well as Kaiser. And they gave food bags as well as vouchers to shop at Northgate to over 125 families who were in need. So thank you to Northgate and to Anaheim High School as well as Kaiser for conducting this food distribution, especially during the holidays and since funding has been cut significantly at the state and federal level. And I had to highlight this. So for those of you who don't know, this past week, the city clerk's office did an amazing job hosting an event for all of the volunteers who serve at the pleasure of this dais in various committees and commissions. But there were performers there that were just amazing. So they come from the Family Justice Center, but all of them are explorers with Anaheim PD. And they performed for us, and I was able to catch them as I was leaving to capture this picture. The gentleman that is on the right, maybe somebody else has left, is a retired lieutenant from Anaheim PD, and his wife leads this Motown group. So if you have a chance to catch them this summer, I believe they're performing June 26, 2026. If I got that right, but it is a fundraiser, and a lot of these are at-risk youth. Many of them are high school students at Anaheim High School, so please support this initiative. I also had the chance, so Shawnee, I'm gonna give you a shout out because Community Services does a significant amount of work in our city, and Shawnee oversees one of what I think is all the departments are important, but she does oversee a very important role since they are very forward-facing, not only neighborhood services, but tonight they're hosting posadas and other community initiatives in some of our most challenged neighborhoods. But we also had a holiday Christmas festival in collaboration with the tree lighting. But before that, from noon to 5, we hosted a booth at this event in downtown Anaheim. And I just wanted to highlight some of the kids who stopped by our booth. One of the reasons I have so much gratitude to be able to serve in this role is to be able to help the people who live in my city. And many of these young residents stopped by to write letters to Santa, but then also just to find out some services that we have, so we were able to connect with parents. So I want to thank Shawnee and her team for all of the hard work that they do to help us engage with the community to make sure that we're aware of some of the initiatives and some of the issues that our residents are facing. And then I have to just highlight, so this is Greenbirds. For those of you who are not aware, we have a nonprofit that the two people who started it, Jody and Kevin, reside in our city. They also work for Disney. They are animators and just creative minds that do a lot of great things. But one of the things they did was bring back something that came from Japan. They've been hosting litter and trash pickup events for the last 11 years, and they really do focus on my district. Because they are residents of District 3, so I'm grateful that it happens here. But we were able to participate in this trash pickup the day after Thanksgiving. We cleaned up areas near one of the oldest homes in Anaheim, as well as the oldest high school. So I just want to thank Kevin and Jody for their continued leadership. And you can see them in that picture right there. But it's just an opportunity. If you have time and would like to give back to the community, they do host them monthly. So I highly recommend you follow them on social media, because that is how they do most of their outreach. And I don't have a picture of this individual, but I just wanted to recognize somebody who was a longtime employee of the city of Anaheim. They are going to get the opportunity to finally retire. Randy Reyes was with Anaheim Community Services. He started at Anaheim Parks and Recreation in 1976. He was a rec leader in 1983. In 1985, he was a site director. And in 2000, he started at Brookers Community Center. He also taught at Anaheim High School for nearly 40 years, and he will be retiring in 2026. So I just wanted to recognize him, and I will be asking council to bring him in for a recognition when it's that time of our agenda. And then to end my council comments, I just wanted to mention, I don't have a slide for this, but please keep the Anaheim track and field in your prayers. I know that we had a resident come up and mention them, but we did have 8 young people who were running as part of the cross-country team. I have a 13 and 16-year-old, so this is really close to my heart, as well as the fact that I went to Anaheim High School. But 8 of our youth were just participating in their sport, and unfortunately were hit by a drunk driver. Thankfully, none of them, all of them are fully in the process of recovering, but we did have one that was in critical condition. Many of these families are struggling because some don't have health insurance. So I will be working with some of the parents at Anaheim High School to host a fundraiser. I will make sure to cascade that. So if any of you are in the position to support these families, that would be greatly appreciated. But most of all, I think they all just need your prayers as they continue to recover. But I also want to thank Anaheim PD and Anaheim Fire and Rescue, because they were on the scene pretty quickly. All of the kids who were impacted were quickly taken to 3 different hospitals across our county and cared for pretty quickly. Our fire chief, Chief Russell, who is amazing, was really helpful in making sure that the Principal Ruben Calleros, had all of the information that he needed to stay in touch with the schools. And I know that our SROs, which are our student resource officers who are part of Anaheim PD, went to the hospital with each of these kids and were there to make sure that their parents were contacted and that they were cared for. So thank you to everybody who helped our 8 kids who are members of our community get to the care that they needed. And that concludes my council comments.
Thank you. Councilmember Leon?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I wanted to congratulate New Hope Presbyterian Church, which is located in District 2. They recently held a jazzy Christmas concert last weekend, and it was great to see all of the talent there. And with everything going on in the world, it was nice to sit there for a few hours and enjoy that talent and community coming together and forgetting about the world's problems in a way, especially as we head into the holiday season. So I just wanted to congratulate and thank Reverend Goodjoin and everybody of the New Hope Presbyterian Church. Also want to give a shout out to Community Services for the community posadas that they've been doing across the city, particularly one that I was able to stop by at Sumac Lane. It's just great to see all of our staff out there. We had the fire department out there, and the moms cooked tamales. There was pan dulce. The diet has most definitely gone out the window, but I very much appreciate everybody coming together. And at the end of the day, it's about seeing the kids' faces, and they light up, and they're just very excited to be able to have that opportunity, and the community comes together. So I just wanted to give a shout out to all of our staff who, including our public utilities team that was out there as well. Just appreciate everybody's continued work as we build those relationships in the community. I also want to give a shout out to the California Highway Patrol officers who came together for the annual Chips for Kids event, donating toys and different prizes to residents and kids from across Orange County. It's an annual event and one that I've been to a number of years now, and so I just wanted to give them a shout out and very much appreciate their continued work as well. I want to invite everybody to toy distribution this Sunday, December 21st from 2 to 4 at Servite High School. We're partnering with Frank Garcia's We Give Thanks, La Casa Garcia, as well as Neutral Ground and others. And so we hope to see you over there at Servite High School on Sunday from 2 to 4. Finally, I do also want to extend my gratitude to Chief Armendariz and congratulate him on his retirement and thank him for his years of dedicated service to the city of Anaheim. Under his leadership, the police department reached a historic number of sworn officers, and he always prioritized building relationships in the community, meeting with residents about different issues in the neighborhood. And so I just want to say that we appreciate him, wish him well, and I'll echo my colleagues as well. To all of our city staff, all of our employees, thank you for the amazing work that you all have done this year and that we will continue to do in the new year. It's an honor and a privilege to be able to work with all of you in making positive differences in our community. So thank you.
Thank you. So I wanted to also, I have some slides and just wanted to thank outgoing Chief of Police Rick Armendariz. I've been honored to lead the city of Anaheim under his time as both deputy chief and chief, and I'm happy to celebrate the well-earned retirement that he is going to be starting at the end of this month. Chief Armendariz stepped up for our city as deputy chief in 2019 and was promoted to chief of police after 4 years of stellar performance in leading our city through a difficult time of the pandemic. He first began his career in law enforcement in 1995 with the Modesto Police Department, beginning as police officer and rising to the roles of sergeant, lieutenant, captain, assistant chief, and even deputy city manager at one point. His experience at various levels within the force was a testament to his love of public service and public safety. In Modesto, Chief Armendariz was responsible for various community-focused initiatives, such as leading Modesto's Safe Neighborhood Initiative, reestablishing area commands, launching a real-time crime center, and expanding youth engagement programs. Under his leadership, the Modesto Police Department leaned into community outreach and worked earnestly to earn the trust of Modesto residents. When he arrived in Anaheim, he brought his passion for reimagining what public safety could mean to our city. In these past years, he has partnered with our council to bring the Anaheim Police Department to new heights. Now at 430 sworn positions, he has grown the police force to meet the needs of our city as the department now retains approximately 600 employees. Heading this department has been no small feat, but Chief Armendariz has taken on the responsibility with fervor in meeting the community where they're at. In an effort to build stronger relationships between the Anaheim Police Department and the residents we serve, he has executed numerous projects aimed at the betterment of offering these types of services. During his time in Anaheim, he has achieved things like launching Anaheim's Real-Time Crime Center to expedite information and improve our call response times, restored Anaheim's community policing, our homeless assistant liaison officer, and other necessary teams in the aftermath of the pandemic, increase youth resources through school resource officers for administrators, teachers, students, and parents, while investing in youth engagement programs to bring services to young people from community services, help nonprofits support these kids, and partner with Team Kids for charity carnivals that connect kids to our first responders. And it has been an honor to start Team Kids with him in Anaheim and see the joy on these kids' faces when they get to work with police officers every week towards a common goal. He emphasized department communications, highlighted community relation efforts, and reorganized our department to meet the city's outlined objectives. And he fostered a culture at the department to reassure residents that the role of the Anaheim Police Department is to serve everyone, regardless of your background, your status, or where you were born in light of the federal immigration enforcement actions. Beyond his time as our police chief, the chief integrated himself as an active part of our Anaheim community. He collaborated on the Chief's Advisory Committee, the Chief's Neighborhood Advisory Council, the Chief's Youth Advisory Council, and they all illustrated the fact that he prioritized the community's input for the department that he was leading. Further, he sat on the boards of our nonprofit organizations like the Boys and Girls Club, Bridges at Kramer Place, Anaheim Family YMCA, and Rotary Club. In the law enforcement field, he is a leader who represents officers on the boards of California's Police Officers Memorial, California Peace Officers Association, and Orange County Chief of Police. Add to this that he was recently recognized on the floor of the U.S. House of Representatives. Can we share that?
Recognize Anaheim Police Chief. I rise today to recognize Anaheim Police Chief Rick Armendariz, who after 30 years will be retiring from law enforcement. In 2019, Chief Armendariz joined the Anaheim Police Department. During his time as chief, Chief Armendariz championed community engagement and worked with local schools and pushed to improve conditions and resources for Anaheim's homeless population. Thank you, Chief Armendariz, for keeping our community safe, and congratulations on a well-earned retirement. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Now, not many of us can say that we have been recognized for all of our accomplishments on the floor of the U.S. House of Representatives. All this is to say that I am beyond grateful to Chief Armendariz for his steadfast commitment to Anaheim, to public safety, and to our community. And I wish him the very best in his future endeavors. I think it's an amazing testament to his career that he has 6 chiefs of police that he mentored in California, as well as 5 chiefs of police out of state that he has mentored. So please join me, and I wish he was here, in thinking of Chief Armendariz and thanking him for his dedication and service to our Anaheim community for these past years. And with that, I will turn it over to the city manager for your report.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council, and the public. I too want to join Congressman Lou Correa, the mayor, and the council in congratulating Chief Armendariz on his retirement. A very respected member of our executive department head team, contributor. We will miss him greatly as part of our executive team. I wish he and his wife and his family the very, very best in their future endeavors, and a lasting retirement, certainly well-deserved. And then finally, I'd like to just take a moment to recognize our Anaheim Police Department, Anaheim Fire and Rescue, our utility staff from Anaheim Public Utilities, Public Works, Community Services, other field staff, other city staff, and city personnel that will be working this holiday season. As we enjoy time with family, friends, relatives, take vacations, relax, they'll be serving our community. And it means so much to me personally as their city manager, but I'm so proud of the work that we do. And on behalf of all of our employees, all 3,000 strong, we wish our residents, our businesses, our visitors a very happy holiday season, and know you'll be very safe and in very good hands with a qualified workforce. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you very much. That's a wonderful sentiment, City Manager. So we are now going to recess the City Council to address the Housing Authority agenda. Items 1 and 2 are before us. Is there a motion?
I'll move.
A motion by Council Member Kurtz. Is there a second? And a second, please vote.
The vote is 7 ayes, no nays. Motion carries.
Thank you very much. Without objection, we will adjourn the Housing Authority and reconvene the City Council to address the City Council consent calendar. We have items 3 through 17 before us. Are there any members of council who wish to remove an item for further discussion? Ooh, that lit up like a Christmas tree. Councilmember Leon?
Item 17, please, Madam Mayor.
17, thank you very much. Councilmember Rubalcaba?
17 as well, thank you.
Councilmember Kurtz?
Items 5 and 11.
Thank you very much. And I see no more. Do we have a motion to move the balance?
I'll move the balance.
Please vote.
The vote is 7 ayes, no nays. Motion carries.
Thank you. So the first item pulled by Councilmember Kurtz is item number 5. Would you like a staff report?
Yes, please.
I will, no, I will not ask. I will ask Mr. City Manager to ask.
I'd ask for a staff report from Director Allen, please.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, members of the City Council. Heather Allen, I'm the Director of the Planning and Building Department. The item before you tonight is the Development Agreement Annual Review for the Garden Walk project. So in 1999, the City of Anaheim and Point Anaheim LLC executed a development agreement for this project. Following the execution of the development agreement, the original developer, Point Anaheim, assigned the development agreement to other responsible parties. There are 3. STC Garden Walk is responsible for the retail, dining, and entertainment center and the parking structure. Garden Walk Hotel 1 LLC is responsible for constructing the 2 hotels on the east side of the project, one of which is constructed. And Westgate Resorts is responsible for the vacation ownership resort component of the project. There are no outstanding obligations under the development agreement for STC. The JW Marriott opened in August 2020, marking the completion of one of the 2 hotels for Garden Walk Hotel 1. So in March of 2024, new timeframes were established for Garden Walk Hotel 1 and Westgate, which are shown on the screen. Garden Walk Hotel 1 has not begun construction on the second hotel. The applicant submitted a letter of request indicating that they were not able to meet the performance timeframe due to financial reasons, updates to the building code, and unexpected passing of a family member. Westgate Resorts has also not obtained building permits for the vacation ownership resort located above the parking structure. The applicant also submitted a letter of request explaining that they were not able to meet the performance milestones because they have had difficulty meeting the standards of a national hotel flag and certifications and design of a new and innovative building type. Both parties have submitted letters requesting to amend the development agreement to extend the timing associated with their development milestones for the hotel and the vacation ownership resort. Pursuant to the city's development agreement procedure resolution, the City Council may, in lieu of amending the agreement, establish a new timeframe for compliance. Therefore, staff recommends that the City Council determine that the property owners have not complied with the terms and conditions of the development agreement for this review period, and a request to direct staff to provide notice of the City Council's intent to establish new development timeframes at a subsequently noticed public hearing to be held within 45 days of that notice. Happy to answer any additional questions, and I know representatives of the parties are here as well.
Okay, so I just want to make sure I understand. Voting in support of staff recommendation would mean that we'd have a public hearing within 45 days?
Correct, to discuss new terms.
New terms. And what kind of options are we do we have at that point?
Certainly. So options are essentially to the agreement stops, or we establish new terms to comply. In speaking with both applicants, they have projects that are ready to move forward. Obviously, the current climate for hotel construction is difficult, but they do intend to move forward with the projects, and having a development agreement certainly provides additional certainty to them as they pursue national flags for the hotels and financing. So the specifics of what those dates and deliverables would be coming before you at the subsequent meeting.
Okay, so at that public hearing, they could share tentative plans, dates that they would like, and those are the items we'd be voting for.
Correct, yes. So we would come forward with some proposed milestones for council's consideration for the new milestones.
Thank you. I'd like to move the item.
We have a second by Councilmember Bayless. I had some questions, Ms. Allen. So for the Westgate project, when you say that a vote is, we're finding them non-compliant, and then in 45 days, we're going to come up with a new timeline, are we mandated to have a new timeline at that public hearing, or do we still have an opportunity to question the value of having this parcel under the current development agreement?
Certainly, that's one of your options at that time.
Okay. And then for the Garden Walk Hotel, is this hotel, does it have, besides the current development agreement, any other agreements with the city?
I'll ask Elaine Tian Prasidi to come up and speak to that.
I guess what I'm asking is this one of the hotels that under this development agreement is tied to the subsidy program that was in place several years ago?
Elaine Chan Prasidi, Principal Planner. The project was originally approved with an economic assistance agreement. However, the timeframes for performance for that have also lapsed, and it's not the intent of the applicant to build under that economic assistance agreement, just under the development agreement and no longer requesting the rebate.
Okay, and so this, again, on this parcel as well, there'll be an opportunity for us to be presented with maybe more plans certain as to when development is going to start.
Yes, correct. We would, so while there is, essentially, we're referring it as one development agreement, there are essentially separate agreements for each of the three parties. So you'll see specific timeframes, one for Hotel 2 and one for Westgate, that they're each requesting to perform under the development agreement.
But we can approve one and potentially not the other?
Correct.
Okay, thank you very much. So I know we have a motion. Is there any other questions? Motion and a second, please vote.
The vote is 7 ayes, no nays. Motion carries.
The next item pulled was item number 11, also pulled by Councilmember Kurtz. Would you like a staff report?
I don't need a full staff report. I have a couple of questions. Thank
Good
you.
evening. We're ready for your questions.
These programs are great. They keep youth, kids working, learning. I'd like to know what kind of jobs we're preparing them for. And second of all, is there any tracking that we do so that once they leave, as an example, the Conservation Corps, and they get a job, do we track at all the fact that they, get a job and how long they're employed, and so that we know whether they truly are successful having completed these programs?
Certainly, and thank you for the opportunity to answer those questions. With me tonight is Workforce Development Manager Marco Lucero, who directly administers the program. The type of jobs that youth are exposed to range from fuel mitigation out in the hills under the leadership of the Conservation Corps. We've had staffing at a couple of the high schools. We have a number of students assigned to the Magnolia High School agriculture program that's there. We've had a number of students assigned to the Museo, working in various aspects, from greeting clients to actually helping with curating and putting together some of the displays. I will take a first crack at the tracking and then lead it over to Marco. He did send me quite an impressive list of at least 20 just from the Museo that have landed in permanent jobs in different places from the various museums throughout Orange County, and also to in other places, some of our local schools, some actually a counseling. Robert is a Californian for our graduate. So in terms of just tracking and all of those other issues, I'll turn it over to Marco maybe for a little bit more detail.
Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to talk about this great program a little bit. Yes, youth are tracked. In fact, it's a requirement of the program. We track them for 12 months. It's a database that the state that we report into, statewide database that we report into to track their outcomes. Again, a lot of these are younger youth. Many of them actually go on to college rather than seeking employment, but we identify that as well.
Thank you. I always worry that we spend money and then we don't know what happens once they leave a program. I'm glad to hear that there is tracking. With that, I move the item.
Thank you. Grace, I have just one quick question. I know I'm biased because I love this program and have spent a lot of time with the governor's representative for Youth Job Corps. But I wanted to see how many, are there more opportunities, or are we reaching out amongst department heads to see if we can get some of the new class of California Job Corps city experience and civic experience, maybe here at the convention center with the public utility, to try to get some of these kids to work for the city someday?
Yes, in fact, that is one of the things that's I'd say a mission of the funding is to expose youth to public service. So for the last few years, we have sponsored the Anaheim Public Utilities Scholars. The youth who work during the summer for the city in utilities, they're funded by the program. We have had interns work for the Economic Development Department. In fact, we've had one hired, I believe, full-time by the city, who was a graduate of the program. We have had 2 individuals who worked in the housing and community, actually take that back, we've had 4 individuals who've worked for Housing and Community Development Department, both in housing and supporting our workforce team in the One Stop. That's in addition to Museo. So yes, and I think there is opportunity to expand into other departments and to find other opportunities to place youth in those positions.
Yeah, I think so many youth just don't know the opportunities that are before them when they look at their local government. So I'm not trying to poach from housing, but if there are other department heads, hopefully they can reach out to you if they have a slot or would be willing to take on somebody in this type of mentorship role. So thank you very much.
The vote is 7 ayes, no nays. Motion carries.
So our last item pulled by Councilmember Leon is item number 17. Would you like a staff report?
Yes, please, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Good evening again, Mayor and council members. Heather Allen, Planning and Building Director. Joining me this evening are Sean Nicholas, Principal Planner, Lieutenant Moody with Anaheim Police Department, and Sunny Nguyen from the City Attorney's Office. This item is an update to Titles 6, 14, and 18 of the Anaheim Municipal Code through the annual code update process. This annual code update began in 2004, focused on updates to the zoning code to increase efficiency, improve service delivery, and respond to changing regulatory and market demands. It has continued to evolve also to comply with changes in state law and support City Council strategic plan priorities. This is also an opportunity for collaborating with city colleagues in support of this effort. And as a result, in addition to zoning code updates, we've incorporated amendments for code enforcement, including to provide additional tools to address public nuisances and for the police department to have local regulations for nitrous oxide and kratom. The presentation tonight will highlight the notable changes. The proposed changes to Chapter 644 for public nuisances include the provision of requiring unprotected exterior access points to crawl spaces to be secured. We know that when crawl spaces are unsecured, these can become dens for animals such as coyotes. Most significantly, the updates include a process amendment to the emergency abatement to identify the city manager as the person who can initiate abatement instead of city council. This streamlines the process to allow the city to move faster to the resolution of public nuisances. In response to City Council direction on May 13th of this year, regulations have been developed related to the sale of nitrous oxide to prevent illegal and recreational use. Nitrous oxide is an odorless, colorless chemical, and although there are legitimate uses, it is also subject to and marketed for widespread recreational misuse and abuse. Recreational misuse of these products poses significant health risks, including oxygen deprivation, hypoxia, neurological damage, cognitive impairment, loss of consciousness, and even death. Despite regulations in the California Penal Code, state law does not specifically prohibit retailers from selling nitrous oxide to adults, even when the seller has actual or constructive knowledge that the buyer intends to use it for intoxication. Specifically in Anaheim, nitrous oxide has been observed for sale at tobacco shops and liquor stores throughout the city, and APD has received 986 calls for service related to nitrous oxide, seized it as evidence 454 times, and made 373 arrests for possession of nitrous oxide with the intent to inhale or ingest in the 21 months between January 2024 and September of 2025. As a result, new Chapter 6.103 for nitrous oxide establishes reasonable local regulations to preserve and protect public health and safety with respect to the sale of nitrous oxide for recreational misuse and identifies criminal and civil penalties for violations. Similarly, in response to City Council direction on September 9th of this year, regulations have been developed for the sale, distribution, and possession of kratom. Kratom is a tropical tree native to Southeast Asia, and its leaves are commonly consumed in powdered or extract form for their stimulant and sedative effects. Compounds in kratom raise serious concerns regarding addiction, overdose, and adverse physical and psychological effects, which can also be amplified when products contain elevated concentrations of 7-OH or are enhanced through synthetic or semi-synthetic processes that increase potency beyond naturally occurring levels. As a result, new Chapter 6.105 for kratom establishes reasonable local regulations to safeguard public health and safety by prohibiting the sale, distribution, or possession of specified kratom and 7-OH products, prohibiting synthetic enhancements, and restricting packaging and marketing practices that target minors. Also identifies criminal and civil penalties for violations. For ADUs, once again, changes in state law and interpretations are requiring the city to make amendments to Title 18. The amendments this year are primarily associated with ADUs for single-family properties and include a change in the number of ADUs that can be developed associated with a property proposed or existing single-family residence, and also eliminates the owner occupancy requirements on properties with JADUs unless there are shared sanitation facilities. Employee housing for agricultural use changes will implement both recent state laws and our housing element and replace prior regulations for agricultural workers' quarters. The list for trees that may be planted on private property and slopes within the scenic corridor overlay is updated following a recent evaluation by the Public Works Department, and landscaping requirements are updated citywide to provide options for more drought-tolerant landscape. Lastly, following recent updates related to Disneyland Forward, several internal references and clarifications are required to facilitate accurate and consistent implementation of the Disneyland and Anaheim Resort specific plans, specifically related to clarifications regarding signage and parking structure heights. These are administrative and no modifications to the physical development standards are proposed. Other additional amendments to clarify, simplify, streamline, correct outdated or inaccurate references to better serve the public and staff, in addition to addressing minor changes to existing regulations for compliance with state law. On November 17th of this year, the Planning Commission unanimously recommended City Council approval specifically of the Title 18 or zoning code amendments. And this concludes staff's presentation, and we're available to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to start with Councilmember Leon and then Councilmember Rubacalva.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you, Heather, for the presentation and for the continued work. Can you go back to the public nuisance for just a second, just for more information? The current process is what?
Certainly. So specific to an emergency abatement, where we have found a situation that needs immediate attention. Unfortunately, the current process does not provide the ability for city to immediately attend to the nuisance. So current process would require the item come before City Council. So we would have the period to notice following the determination, and then it requires a 4/5 vote of the council to ultimately do that declaration. So consistent with best practice of other agencies, that would allow the city manager, when making certain findings, to find and declare the nuisance. There is still a due process afforded to an applicant should they wish to request a hearing following that determination. It does also set up a process where, consistent with other nuisance abatements, the property owner would be responsible for costs incurred.
And can I ask you the before and after? So it's a two-part question, and I do appreciate brokers making an appearance on the slide, by the way. So before we get to declaring an emergency abatement, what does that process look like? Is it a number of citations that they have to get to? Is it, what is that process?
In the event of emergency, there would be no number of steps, right? We would find an immediate threat under the criteria for a public nuisance, and then we could bring it forward. So it wouldn't necessarily be something that they've received numerous citations, failed to comply. This is, we go out, there's an immediate threat the city wants to address, and then be able to fence, clean, demolish, and then recover the cost for doing so. This would allow us to do that.
Got it. Okay, thank you. And then after we just in terms of the abatement, and I'm going a little bit off topic, but just in terms of the abatement, if the city manager were to declare that emergency abatement, we go in, we clean up, and then we bill them. Are there additional steps or responsibilities on the ownership side for that property?
So typically, the cost recovery is associated with a lien placed on the property. Certainly, if the cycle continues, then we would address appropriately. So if we fix the immediate emergency, they continue to have nuisances on the property, we would evaluate and then send them through whichever process correlates to the remaining nuisances on the property.
Got it. Okay. Thank you for that. On the nitrous oxide, can you repeat the numbers of calls that we've gotten?
Yes, let me go back to it was a lot. I think it averaged about 50 per month if you did that math.
And may I ask, while you're looking up those numbers, do we have a map in terms of where those calls came from?
We do not have a map, but so numbers are starting with 986 calls for service, and then we saw it in evidence 454 times, and then 373 arrests for possession.
Got it. The reason why I ask if there's a map is I'm wondering if there's a correlation between these types of calls and unhoused individual or something like that, an issue occurring in a certain area. So I'm wondering if there's any correlation between those two at all. And you don't have to answer right now, but just as a
Really, I think we know that from other items, we see these at liquor stores and tobacco shops. We know that liquor stores and tobacco shops also correlate with the quality of life issues that we see. So I would expect, and Lieutenant Moody can confirm, that you'll see those in the same hotspots that you see other quality of life issues. However, nitrous oxide is, as you can see from the images, I think also target marketed to youth. So I think that would be a different location than your typical quality of life calls for service.
Got it. Okay. Thank you for that. And then just finally, you mentioned that there would then be a criminal and civil penalties. Can you elaborate on what those are, or with more detail?
Certainly, I'll ask Sunny Wynn from the City Attorney's Office to discuss that.
So that would be at the discretion of the officer that's issuing the citation. It could be charged as a misdemeanor, so punishable by a fine of not more than $1,000 or imprisonment in the city or county jail for a period not exceeding 6 months. Or it could also be written up as a civil citation, so it would be a civil fine essentially.
Got it. Okay. Thank you. And then you said that it would be up to the discretion of the officer. I'm assuming it depends on the situation.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I appreciate the work and definitely appreciate as we're talking about abatements and properties that become a nuisance, definitely appreciate staff's work in updating that and making it a more streamlined process to address some of these issues in our neighborhoods. So thank you.
Thank you. So thank you, Heather and team, for bringing all of these code updates. I'm most interested in everything, but most interested in the Kratom. So thank you for adding it to this update. If you can expand a little bit on Kratom, I know it's a synthetic, but what are some of the regulations that we're adding? And I'm interested in how we're going to enforce. And Councilmember Leon also mentioned the whippets and all of that. And I know just from being in the community that it does impact a lot of our youth. I've caught them in the bushes getting high with it. And I think it's important that we are addressing some of these issues. I know we probably don't have as many calls for service on Kratom, but it is sort of like under the radar synthetic that is probably very dangerous and definitely being marketed to our youth right across the street from Anaheim High School and a lot of other areas.
Certainly, I'll ask Sunny to go into the specifics, but I think recognizing that there are some also legitimate uses for Kratom, the City Attorney's Office crafted an ordinance to address kind of the over-concentrated as well as the marketing to youth. So I'll let Sunny kind of go into the details.
What the ordinance does in an attempt to address youth that are using these products, so it requires that businesses that are selling legitimate Kratom products not sell it to anyone that's under 21 years old. It also requires businesses that sell legitimate Kratom to also ID the individuals that are buying the products to make sure that they're over 21 years old. And some Kratom products are not synthetic, and that can still be sold. Synthetic Kratom products, which are dangerous, that will be banned under this ordinance, and as well as Kratom products that have more than 2% 7-OH, and that's what makes it dangerous.
How will we enforce? Because I see the one in particular that always stands out to me is it Feel Free? Or it's like a blue bottle, and it's all over, right? They have a big sign in front of Anaheim High School. There's one at I see them at gas stations. So how are there any, or what are the regulations for the marketing side when it's near or close to a school, for example?
So on the marketing side, this ordinance also says that if the product is marketed towards children, attractive to children, which this defines what is attractive to children, which includes packaging, colors, images, then that would not be allowed as well.
Perfect. And then how will we enforce, because I'm not looking at really enforcing the kids who are getting it, it's more the stores that are selling it for me. How are we going to not only notice, make sure that they have notice of this ordinance change and the regulations that they now have to comply with, but how will we also enforce it? Will that be more of a code enforcement?
Certainly. So having both the criminal and civil options really provide options. So code can enforce, PD can enforce, we can jointly enforce, and we can, as we did with tobacco, kind of start with an education campaign and let folks know of what the requirements are Again, kind of that due process on the city side, let the operators know, and then we can collaboratively or individually, if our officers are out there, can enforce.
And will the enforcement apply, because criminal enforcement, would that be towards the operators? I mean, 'cause if they're gonna continue to sell, that's the people that I really want to take out, not our kids. I think it's important for us to educate our kids on the impacts that these synthetics and all of these other, the whippets and the other things have on them. But I'm probably more concerned about the people who are selling them and continue to violate our ordinances.
Yeah, that's what the ordinance is aimed at,
Okay.
is really the operators, and code enforcement and the police department work together frequently, and we go inside these places, and we see this kind of stuff all the time. You've seen it obviously too. When we work with code enforcement, we can go either way, right? Civil or criminal. If it's just a police department operation, we'll obviously go criminal. That's typically what we do, but we have the option of civil.
Great. And then when you guys do the notification and outreach, can we get a memo just to the council as to how many stores were reached out to? And I'm interested in just understanding what that communication looks like. And a memo is fine, nothing to come back to council in a public meeting, but just what does that outreach look like? How many stores were actually contacted? All of that. And that's it. And thank you for all of your efforts in this area to keep Anaheim youth and our community safe.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Meeks, and then Councilmember Bayless.
Thank you. I also want to thank you for bringing this kratom issue with new ordinances so quickly. I mean, I had never heard of it until one of the speakers was presenting it, and I'm not sure what the legitimate use is, but are other cities around us getting this word and instituting similar restrictions on this so that our kids aren't getting it from other places?
Yeah, it's actually a popular drug at the federal level, so we're seeing it nationwide. It's a trend that's taken off, and other cities are starting to ban it. I think Newport was one of the first. I think, or no, Orange County. Orange County is one of them also. I can't remember anybody else's local, but some LA County cities as well.
Okay, and they're banning it for under 21, or are they just banning it across the board?
Some have banned it across the board, that there's no more sales of kratom. I think it was Newport that said there's no sales. Or maybe San Diego's involved too, San Diego County. It depends on where you're at, how they looked at the problem and then tried to solve it. We left it open intentionally because there are legitimate uses. It is known as an herbal supplement in certain communities. But when you start synthesizing it and making it stronger, that's where we're running into problems.
Okay, so we are allowing it in its natural form. Are we prohibiting it in its synthesized form?
Prohibiting it in its synthesized form. So it's an herbal supplement, and then you can take it and make it stronger.
Okay.
So we don't want that anymore.
All right, well, thank you for doing that. The other question I had is, other cities have had some success in additional limitations or ordinances on group homes regarding concentration and maybe some other regulations. Are we looking at those? That's not part of this?
That's not part of that, this effort. For something like that, should we make modifications, that would come forward as a standalone item.
Okay, I'd like to see that. Thank you.
Councilmember Bayless?
Thank you. I think I'm going to ask the same questions, not in relation to kratom, but in regards to the nitrous oxide. So there are some legitimate uses here, and so I'm just curious if we have, I mean, where are we banning the sale of this at? Is it all throughout Anaheim? And I can see this I may be the only one here, but I know the use, or one legitimate use here. I make some homemade whipped cream, and we use the nitrous oxide in there. And I would imagine we have a bunch of hoteliers here that do the same thing. So my question is are we banning it at locations, say restaurant supply stores, Costco? And then my other question is this. When I go to, say, for example, Costco actually makes me take out my ID. They photocopy my ID in order to buy this. And so one of the ways that for better or worse, but one of the ways I get around that is you go to Amazon and buy this, and it just comes straight to your door. So I'm curious, how far are we banning this? Is it just at the liquor store? And I'll let you take it.
So the ban is the ban is, it bans any person from selling nitrous oxide, but there's a number of carve-outs which are for legitimate uses. So for example, culinary uses or for vehicular uses or medical and dental uses as well. And under this ordinance, it also requires that, under existing state law, retailers that sell nitrous oxide are supposed to keep a log of who's purchasing the nitrous oxide. So Costco's doing it correctly, but there are retailers that are selling it for intoxication purposes that are not doing that. And so state law does address that.
Okay, so we've carved out at least the legitimate sale.
Yes.
Okay. And then I also have another question, and this is not related to nitrous oxide at all, but as I was going through this, I think it was section number 5, and I was wondering, does this apply just towards the nuisance part of this? And that is what I read in here is that if you have an RV on your property, you're not allowed, at least that's what I think I see here, it says not used for human habitation. Does that mean that if it's a nuisance property, you're not allowed to live in an RV on the property, or does that apply citywide?
So this is a citywide item, so that when you have a single-family home, you can certainly park within certain requirements your RV on the property. You can certainly have accessory dwelling units on the property, but we don't permit living in an RV parked on your property.
So for example, let's say then, I have a pretty small house and I have a larger family. If the family's coming over for Christmas, we maybe use the RV as a place where somebody can stay for a couple of days. Would that be, under this law, would that be illegal?
So we state human habitation, so I don't think we define a length of time that constitutes habitation, so that would certainly give some room for interpretation. I don't think, to your point about a nuisance property, I don't think we're going to enforce on somebody in your example. If it becomes a problem with nuisance, we're dragging power cords, we have sanitation issues, it's becoming a nuisance issue, then we have a tool with this update.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So I believe we don't have any more questions. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion and a second, please vote.
The vote is 7 ayes, no nays. The 3 ordinances are introduced.
So item 19 on our agenda are appointments to regional agencies. We will take the appointments in the order listed on the agenda. So the first is the Metropolitan Water District of Southern California. Stephen Fessel currently serves on the Met Water District. Are there any nominations? Do we have to nominate someone if they're already currently in that seat? Or
Yes, Mayor, just so we can have for the record for the new term.
Thank you very much for that clarification. So I'd like to nominate Stephen Fessel. Oh, okay. So are there any other nominations, or let's just vote on this one?
No second.
We don't need a second for the nominations. The vote is 7 ayes, no nays. The nomination moves forward.
Next is the North Net Fire Training Joint Powers Authority. Councilmember Rubicalva serves as the city's representative with Councilmember Moz as the alternate. Would you like to continue your representation on North Net?
Due to time constraints, I'd prefer to be the alternate, if possible.
Would that be okay with Councilmember Moz? So the nomination is for appointment of Councilmember Moz with Councilmember Rubicalva as the alternate. Please vote.
The vote is 7 ayes, no nays. The nominations move forward.
The next is Orange County City Hazardous Material Emergency Response Authority. You have hard ones. Hard to say. Councilmember Rubalcaba serves on this authority. Is there a nomination?
I would like to continue serving if possible.
Okay, seeing no other nominations, please vote for Councilmember Rubalcaba.
Sorry, I accidentally voted no.
I'm going to cancel it and reset the vote.
Nice try.
The vote is 7 ayes, no nays. Nomination moves forward.
Okay, next is Orange County Housing Finance Trust. Councilmember Kurtz is currently serving. Would you like to continue for another 2-year term?
I guess, yes.
Well, or would you like to ask if anybody else would like it? Is anybody else throwing their hat into the ring? Everyone takes a step back. Councilmember Kurtz.
Councilmember Bayless? The vote is 7 ayes, no nays. The nomination moves forward.
Orange County, the next is Orange County Sanitation District. Councilmember Leon serves as the city's representative and Councilmember Bayless as the alternate. Oh, did I skip?
No, it's not up yet, I don't think.
Oh, okay. I was going off a different list.
Oh, no, hey, keep me honest. Orange County Senate, so Councilmember Leon is our current city representative and Councilmember Bayless is the alternate. Would anyone like to put forth a nomination?
I would like to continue serving, Madam Mayor. I've been the primary representative over the last year, was the alternate before that, and built some really good working relationships with other council members from across the county. And so I would like to continue serving on that board.
Okay, so how do we,
So we would take each nomination separately, and with the majority vote is the one that moves forward as the appointment for the representative position, if they're both nominations for the representative.
okay,
So it's the one with the most votes would move forward.
okay. So the first will be to nominate Councilmember Leon for the position of city representative. Please vote.
The vote is 4 ayes, 1 nay, 2 abstentions. Nay by Councilmember Kurtz, abstentions by Mayor Pro Tem Meeks and Councilmember Bayless.
So that passes? Oh, no, sorry.
We'll go
excuse
to
me.
the second nomination.
So the next would be the Councilmember Bayless as the city's representative.
The vote is 3 ayes, 1 nay, 3 abstentions. Nay by Councilmember Maz, abstentions by Mayor Aiken, Councilmember Leon, and Councilmember Rubalcaba. The nomination moved forward with Councilmember Leon as the director.
Okay. The next is the Orange County Water District. Councilmember Meeks currently.
I'm sorry, Mayor, if we want to, we still have the alternate.
Excuse me. Is there a nomination for the alternate? Is that okay with you? Okay, we have a nomination of Councilmember Bayless. Seeing no others, please vote.
The vote is 7 ayes, no nays. Nomination move forward.
So next is the Orange County Water District. Councilmember Mayor Pro Tem Meeks currently serves on this authority. Would you like to continue on in your slot, please? Okay. Any other nominations? Seeing none, please vote.
The vote is 7 ayes, no nays. Nomination moves forward.
Next, we have the Santa Ana River Flood Protection Agency. Councilmember Meeks serves as the city's representative, and Public Works Director Rudy Amami is the alternate. Are there any other nominations?
I'm happy to have someone else nominate. anyone else would like to serve on this, all right, I'll continue to do it.
That's the enthusiasm we're looking for. Rudy, yeah.
The nomination is 7 ayes, no nays. Both nominations move forward.
The yearly term, it might be a 2-year. Next is Southern California Association of Governments, who also serves as the Orange County Council of Governments representative. Councilmember Bayless serves as our city representative. Are there any nominations for that representative? All right.
If nobody else wants to do it,
Do what? SCAG. We're going to do that
I can be the
second.
alternate because he never misses a meeting, ever.
We're going to do that second. I don't know why. Did everybody vote?
Councilmember Bayless? And the vote is 7 ayes, no nays. Nomination moves forward.
Councilmember Kurt serves as the city's alternate on SCAG. Would you be willing to continue on?
As long as
Thank
Councilmember Bayless is the lead, yes.
Councilmember Bayless and Councilmember Bacalva. And the nomination is 7 ayes, no nays. Nominations move forward.
For Transportation Corridor Agency, Councilmember Meeks serves as the city representative with me as the alternate. Are there any other nominations?
No, I'll continue to do that. It mostly impacts my district, so I will continue to serve.
All right. Please vote, and I will join you. You never miss a meeting either.
For the last appointment, we have 7 ayes and no nays. The nominations for both move forward.
Thank you. So last, item 19 is the appointment of Mayor Pro Tem for the 2026 calendar year. I believe, and I would like to put forth Councilmember Leon as a nominee for Mayor Pro Tem. Are there any other nominations? Okay, seeing none, let's take a vote on Councilmember Carlos Leon as Mayor Pro Tem.
And the vote is 7 ayes, no nays. Motion moves forward as Councilmember Mayor Pro Tem, Councilmember Leon for 2026 calendar year.
Congratulations. That's a whisper of you. Okay, so item number 20, the public hearing has been removed from our calendar. Do we need to take any actions?
No, Mayor, the action and motion was taken at the beginning under additions and deletions, just noting for the record that this public hearing for development application 2023-0043 was continued to our next city council meeting scheduled for January 13th, 2026.
Thank you so much. Next is our report on closed session. Mr. City Attorney, do we have anything to report out of closed session?
No reportable action. Thank you, Mayor.
And we have no non-agenda public comments, correct?
That's correct, Mayor.
So now is the time for future agenda requests by council members. Does any council member have something to add to an agenda? I will start with Councilmember Maas.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I would like to recognize Chain Reaction at an upcoming meeting. Sadly, Chain Reaction in Anaheim, long recognized as a vital community hub for local youth and music lovers, will be closing its doors permanently at the end of this month. The venue, which is in District 3, will host its final shows on December 18th and 19th, headlined by the band The Movements. I had a lot of great memories there, as well as family and friends, and after 30 years, it is closing its doors. So I ask that the city recognize its legacy here in Anaheim at an upcoming meeting.
Thank you. It's so sad. Councilmember Mayor Pro Tem Meeks, and then Councilmember Rubicalva.
I'll just go back to being Councilmember Meeks now.
Oh, not yet. But I was just starting to get it.
No, just got it. I would like the planning department and the city attorney's office to look at strengthening our ordinances on group homes to protect our neighborhoods. So see what some other cities are doing and look at best practices and bring that forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Rubalcaba.
Thank you, and I appreciate that, especially since I think my district has a lot of group homes, and since the recent state law doesn't allow us to regulate, it would be good to at least identify and understand what we can do to protect our neighborhoods. But I would also like to bring in Randy Reyes for recognition. And then if we can get an update on our gang enforcement and some of the activity that we've had in our city. I know that I've tried to work with our prior chief, and I think that there's other things that we could be doing to not only do more gang suppression, but just identification and making sure that our police department has the resources that they need. In my district in particular, and I know Council Member Kurtz also has a similar issue, the gang activity is on the rise, and you can see not only through the graffiti, but a lot of the other activities. So I would like our Anaheim Police Department to give us an update on that in a public meeting and talk about some of the strategies that they're going to bring to the table to not only do suppression, but prevention and intervention. Thank you.
Thank you. I learned tonight that we had that Toastmasters was 100 years old. I have driven by it all the time, and I never knew that. So I don't think we're going to have a meeting ahead of their luncheon, but I'd like to bring them in just to recognize them on 100 years in Anaheim and being the second oldest Toastmasters in the world. That is extraordinary. And then, Mr. City Manager, I know we had spoken about bringing back in January the item on overtime. Do we have an idea, first or second meeting, when that item will be ready to be brought back?
I do not, but I'll circle back with you.
Okay, thank you very much. So with no other business before the council, we stand adjourned until January 13th, 2026.